What's up, y'all? We are back with another video today. This is going to be an NFL running back tier list. There's not really too much of an intro I need to do here. I've been loving all the people that have been subscribing. I think I'm at 13, 14 subscribers right now, which is way more than I thought I was going to have in my first two videos. I thought I was going to maybe get lucky and get 5. But the fact that I have 13 subscribers right now, I am very encouraged, and I do really appreciate it. Appreciate all the love also on the first video, people giving me tips, telling me to make thumbnails. Thank you very much, I appreciate it. If you guys want to see more videos like this, like and subscribe. But yeah, I'm just going to get into it, this NFL running backs. Now, off the rip, I'm going to tell you guys, some of these faces I don't fully recognize, but I'm also not going to talk about every running back on this list, right? There's a couple of backup running backs and a couple of rookies on here that I'm just not going to talk about, but I'm going to talk about every starter, and I'm going to rank every starter, okay? So, starting off with Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones, I do like Aaron Jones, right? I think his production last year was way more than I expected to have. I thought he was going to be I basically thought he was going to be like a C tier running back last year, like a high C, low B. But last year he played like a high B, low A. Now, what I think he'll do next year, I think he's going to be B, middle of B tier. I think that they're going to have to rely on him a little bit more than they did last year, because I think J.J. McCarthy is going to take, some time to get used to playing and being the starter. But I think Aaron Jones will be able to carry the load as much as possible, but he's not going to have these crazy breakout games. I'm going to assume that he'll probably have, in a 17-game season, he'll probably have, in my opinion, anywhere from 5 to 7 100-yard rushing games. I think he'll be good. I think he'll be serviceable, but nothing too crazy, nothing spectacular. Austin Eckler, I have to put him in D tier. I think I still think back to that clip. I don't remember who they were playing. It might have been the Chargers, where he got the ball and he took it out to the edge and he's running along the sideline and he looks so damn slow. I have no idea how he won a starting running back job with the athleticism that he currently has. Just yesterday, I think Brian Robinson got traded, and I remember I was confused because I thought Brian Robinson was just more athletic than Eckler. Like, I thought he would have been the starter, but I know Chris Rodriguez is probably going to take some reps. But as of right now, it's Austin Eckler. I think Austin Eckler is going to be D tier running back, and I honestly won't be surprised if he loses the starting job. Now, Bijan Robinson. It takes a lot for me to put a running back in S tier. I think right now, he's going to be A tier, but low A tier. High A tier, low S tier. I just think there's a lot of weapons on this offense, and I think that while yes, they're going to run the ball a good amount, there's been some games where Bijan just hasn't done well. Right now, I expect that to change. I think he'll be consistently good, but I think having Michael Penix in there, when Michael Penix was in there last year, he would throw the ball, right? Like, they weren't throwing Michael Penix out there and having him have like 17 to 20 attempts. He would go out there and throw the ball 30 times. And I think for a team to have an S tier, or for a player to be an S tier as a running back, I think you have to have that scheme where they'll give you the ball 30 times and be perfectly okay with it. And I just think the scheme isn't going to be the best fit for him. But I think he's high A tier, low S tier. But I won't be surprised if he is S tier by the end of the year. Now I'm going to skip. I believe that's Blake Corum. I honestly have no idea who this guy is. I know this is Isaiah Davis, but I'm going to talk about Breece Hall. Because I believe Breece Hall is going to be actually, I don't think he's going to be the starter. I've heard rumors about him being traded, but as of right now, he's a starter. So I'm going to rank him as such. And for me, he's going to be a B tier running back. I really like Breece Hall. I thought Breece Hall would have been an A tier running back, but he's been given enough chances. He hasn't really had the production that you would like to see from your starting running back, which again is why he's going to get traded. But I just can't put him in A tier. Now, especially with the O-line not being the greatest, I don't see Breece Hall, if he does stay with the Jets, really having a season comparable to Bijan or some of these other A-tier running backs that I'm going to put on here. And I think having Justin Fields and having a guy who's mobile, that's going to take a good amount of attempts from Breece Hall, and we're not going to see a great Breece Hall season. But on the other hand, having Justin Fields means that in read option situations, Justin Fields on his own is going to at least take away one defender from Breece Hall, making it easier for Breece Hall to run the ball. So I think Breece Hall is going to be B tier. I don't think he'll make the jump to A tier, but this is a guy that I wouldn't be surprised if he does. I have no idea who he is. I'm not going to lie to you, but Bucky Irving. I really like Bucky Irving. I'm a little salty about it because I had Rachaad White in fantasy, and he took a lot of reps from Rachaad White. But I actually think Bucky Irving is going to be an A-tier running back. Last year he had a much better season in my opinion than Aaron Jones and Breece Hall, with less carries. He was essentially going 50-50 on carries with Rachaad White. And I don't think Bucky Irving is going to have like an S tier type of season, but I think he's like mid A, low A kind of a range. And I think that's a good spot for him. I think the Buccaneers are going to continue to feed him, and they're going to have a somewhat balanced offensive attack, and I think that opens up the great passing scheme that they've had, especially last year. Baker Mayfield threw 41 touchdowns. I think teams are going to have to respect the pass, which is going to open up the run for Bucky Irving, and we saw that last year. He had a great season. So Bucky Irving A tier, I think that's pretty easy in my opinion. I don't think Scatterbo is going to be the starter. This is Chase Brown. Chase Brown is the starter, I believe, actually. So Chase Brown. I think Chase Brown's going to be a B tier running back. He had a good year last year, nothing crazy. I think he was hurt for a little bit of the year, but he in my opinion, played average. I think he was just an average running back. Nothing spectacular, no like huge games, but he had a couple good games as well and a couple bad games. So I don't have too much to say about Chase Brown. The only thing I'll say about Chase Brown is that I could see him having like a low B tier to high C tier kind of season, only because the Bengals passing attack is going to be what's going to be relied on the most, especially since the Bengals O-line isn't that good. So I kind of want to put him in C tier just for that. No, I like him as a running back, but I think the fact that the O-line is so bad is going to hurt the rushing game for Chase Brown, and it's going to make the Bengals have to pass more, which means less attempts will go to Chase Brown. So I'm going to leave him here at B tier. I do like him, but I think the scheme will have him be kind of like a C tier kind of season. Chuba Hubbard, B tier as well. I like him. Man, for me he's like a high B, low A, but the reason why I want to say he's more of a B tier for me is because he's just not on that great of a team. This is a team that, in my opinion, they're either going to have a good season and they're going to fight for a playoff spot, or this season's going to be more like it is last season, right? If it's like how it was last season, Chuba Hubbard's going to be B tier. But if it's a good season, I think it's going to be an A tier season for Chuba. But I am predicting that the Panthers aren't going to have that great of a season. So I think Chuba is going to struggle with that. They're going to have to pass the ball a lot more, especially in games that they're losing. So Chuba, I think, is going to be a B tier running back, but this is another guy I wouldn't be surprised if he jumps to A. CMC. I would want to put CMC S tier. I think he deserves S tier, but I'm really concerned about the injuries. He is very, very, very high A tier, low S tier. If it wasn't for the injuries last year and how he just couldn't stay healthy, and there's been other seasons where he hasn't been able to stay healthy, I would have him at S tier, like the low S tier. I might move him up depending on how many other people I put in S tier. But yeah, I think CMC is going to be at S tier for now. I'm at A tier for now. I'm just concerned about injuries and how much he's going to be on the field. James Cook. I really like James Cook. I'm even though I'm a Dolphins fan, I'm just a fan of football, right? So I was happy that James Cook got signed to the Bills, because I think James Cook on the Bills is a very good fit for him, right? He doesn't have to carry the load. in the way that other players kind of have to, right? And he has the help of having a good quarterback who can run, but also just throw the ball as well. So since defenses have to respect Josh Allen, it opens up more holes for James Cook. So James Cook, in my opinion, A tier. I kind of have him in the same spot as Bucky Irving. I think what hurts James Cook a little bit is just the fact that Josh Allen is Josh Allen, and they're more likely to lean on Josh Allen than they are on James Cook. But there's been some games where they've leaned on James Cook, and he's provided, or he's had good production. So I think James Cook belongs in A tier, along with these guys, right? David Montgomery. Now, this might be a little controversial, but in my opinion, I think David Montgomery's B tier. I think he's, again, high B tier, low A tier, but I think he's not so much worse, but he's noticeably worse than Jahmyr Gibbs, and I think as he's getting older, I think he's 28 or 29 this year, I think injuries are going to start to pile up. Now, he's a great power back, right? But as a third down back and your normal running situations, I'd much rather have Jahmyr Gibbs than David Montgomery. And even then, on power situations, I've seen David Montgomery just not play great. But I think I'm going to leave him at B tier. I think Chuba Hubbard is more likely to have a better season than David Montgomery. It's mainly from the fact that David Montgomery's splitting reps, and I think he's going to lose a lot of reps. He's going to lose more reps this year than he did last year because of how good Jahmyr Gibbs did play. Now, Derrick Henry, S tier. That's pretty easy. I don't really think there's anything to talk about. With Derrick Henry, we know him, King Henry. Like, he almost had 2,000 yards last year. I think he'll have a similar season, if not a little worse. But yeah. Now, Devon. What do I think about Devon? I think he's an A-tier running back. I think he's an A-tier running back solely because of the speed. I think the speed is such a important trait to have, especially in the offense that the Dolphins run, where everything is so quick. And we've seen A-Chain just literally tear apart defenses because of how fast he is, or just doing a little fake little toss to him makes the defenders react quicker because of his speed, which leads to more open holes to other guys, right? So, like talking about throwing, especially in the RPO game. So, I like A-Chain. I think he'll have a great season this year. Last year wasn't that great, but that was because Tua being hurt made the Dolphins have to rely on A-Chain more, and teams knew that, so they were able to stop him. They were able to stop him more effectively than if I think Tua was there and our passing was more of a threat, right? So I have Devon A-Chain at A. I do like that. Jerome Ford. Right now, Jerome Ford. Oh, I don't even know who this is. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think this is Tyrone Tracy. I think Tyrone Tracy's down here, so I'm gonna skip this guy. Jerome Ford right now is the next guy I'm gonna talk about. I think he's B tier. Before I talk about Jerome, though, I am gonna drop Chase Brown to C. I feel like someone needs to go at C. I think I have a lot of B's in right now, and I think Chase Brown again will be hurt by that scheme more. But Jerome Ford, this team just isn't that good. No, I changed my mind. Jerome Ford's also going to go at C. I think since the team isn't that good, he's just going to struggle. I think the offense as a whole is going to struggle. In my opinion, the O-line for the Browns is not as good as it was 2-3 years ago when Jerome Ford was looking like a great running back. But I know historically he averages pretty good yards per carry. I just think this is not going to be a good season for the Browns offense at all. So I have him at C tier, but he's one of those guys where I think his scheme will benefit him more than Chase Brown's will. So I could see Jerome Ford being a B tier running back. I have Jerome Ford as like a high C, low B. I think this is Isaac Guerrero. This is Antonio Gibson, who I know he's technically splitting reps with Ramondre Stevenson, but I'll rank him, and I think he's just going to be C. I think if you're splitting the reps, I think you have to be a C tier running back aside from, Montgomery and Gibbs. Which, talking about Montgomery and Gibbs, I think Gibbs is an A tier running back as well. I actually would probably, if I had to order this, I actually think he's just under Bijan. I think Bijan is more talented, but Gibbs has more production. But I like him. I think even though he's not the biggest guy, he's fast, he's shifty, and he provides a little bit more of a punch than people expect him to, which is why I actually want Gibbs to be just a starter. I think he can handle those power back situations better than some people think. But I think having Montgomery there does help him a good amount. You know what I mean? But Gibbs A tier. I don't really think anything has to be said about it. I think he's had ever since he's been in the league, he's been very productive. So I like Gibbs. I think Gibbs will have another good year as well. James Conner. James Conner had a good year last year, honestly. A better year than I thought he would. So I'm going to have him a B tier. I think his seasons are kind of comparable to Breece Hall and Jones. But I think it's going to be more of the same. I think the Cardinals are going to lean more towards the pass with a stronger Marvin Harrison Jr. and more chemistry between him and Kyler. And obviously Trey McBride, great receiving threat. So I think this team is going to lean a little bit more on the pass than the run, which I think will hurt Connor a little bit. But I do think Connor is a B tier running back. I don't think he's bad at all. I just think the scheme's going to hurt him just a little bit. But it's not going to be as bad as like Chase Brown's situation. This is Javonte Williams. Currently, I don't know who's starting, but if I'm going to assume it's Javonte, and if it's Javonte, C tier. He was good that 1 year before he tore his ACL. He hasn't really done anything since. You could honestly almost make the argument for D tier, but I don't think he's that bad. But I'm actually gonna drop Gibson down to D tier. But I'm gonna drop Gibson down to D tier. I don't think Gibson's that good, honestly. I'm surprised he's actually splitting reps with Ramondre. Jaylen Warren, B tier. I think I'm excited for him to finally have the starting spot for the Steelers, but I don't think he's gonna have that much better of a season. I think his averages are going to be roughly around the same. His yards is going to go up only because now he's not splitting reps anymore. But I think his yards per carry is going to be, if not the same, probably a little bit worse. Just because more carries, more chances of having short runs. But now I think he's going to have to take over all the power back duties as well, which is also going to hurt his yards per carry. So I think Jaylen Warren's going to be B tier, but I think out of everyone so far in B tier, I think this is he's a low B, high C guy for me. But I think he's B tier right now. I'm not going to rank Genty only because he's a rookie. I don't like ranking rookies. It just feels weird for me just to put him over someone who's already been in the league for, a good amount of time. Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon didn't have a crazy year last year. I think he's another B tier running back, but I would put him B tier, like just under David Montgomery. I think David Montgomery could still have a backfield to himself and still be as productive, if not more productive, than Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon had a good year. I think honestly they might rely on Joe Mixon a little bit more because of the injuries that the Texans have with the receivers. But just because they're going to lean on him more, I don't think he's going to be more successful. I think he'll probably be a B tier running back. He'll probably get in the 1,000 yards range, but nothing like over 1,250 in my opinion. Jonathan Taylor, it feels so weird, but I want to go. I'm gonna go A tier. I'm gonna go A tier. I think Jonathan Taylor is for sure better than Chuba and David Montgomery, but I don't think Taylor is better than these guys here. I think these other guys in A tier are gonna have more production than Taylor. Now, I think what helps Taylor's, it helps it, but it hurts it at the same time. I think what helps Taylor's case is that he'll probably get more attempts than all of these other guys aside from King Henry. But I think he's going to have more attempts, which means more chance of him breaking out. But again, more attempts. More attempts, yes, but I think he's going to have more attempts because of how bad the QB situation is. And I could see him having a similar season to what A-Chain had last year, where, yeah, he's very talented. Yes, he's good and he'll get a lot of carries, but the defenses aren't going to be too threatened by by the quarterback situation and passing, and that's going to hurt JT. But I like him. I think he's an A-tier running back, honestly. I think I am going to make this. You know what? I'll wait, but I'm really leaning towards moving CMC to S tier. Josh Jacobs. I think Josh Jacobs is A tier. With that being said, I am moving CMC up. I think Josh Jacobs is A tier. I think him being in the offense that he is, where Jordan Love is still playing very well. I think the receivers are going to be better, which means that the passing attack is going to be more of a threat. I think that's going to open up more big plays for Josh Jacobs. And Josh Jacobs had a great year last year. I think it's going to continue. I almost want to put him in S tier. You know what? Yeah, I like that. I am going to put Josh Jacobs in S tier. I think he deserves S tier. I think this season that's coming up, I think is going to be relatively the same to last year. And yeah, I do like S tier a lot for Josh Jacobs, but he's like a low S tier, high A tier kind of guy. Man, I think they're splitting the reps this year. Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet, which, unless I'm crazy, I don't see his picture. I feel like this doesn't look like Charbonnet, but I think it is. So I'm actually just gonna rank the two of them right now. I think Kenneth Walker is B tier, and I think Charbonnet is C tier. Kenneth Walker just hasn't had the success that you would want from a starter, which is why I think Charbonnet is taking some reps as well. But I don't have anything bad to say about Kenneth Walker, but I don't have anything good to say about him as well. I think bringing in Sam Darnold, they might throw the ball more than running. I think if they were content with the scheme that they ran last year and the year before, they would have just kept Geno Smith. I think bringing in Sam Darnold is kind of a sign that they want to throw the ball a little bit more, and I think that's going to hurt these two guys. So yeah, Walker B, Charbonnet at C. Alvin Kamara, in my personal opinion, Alvin Kamara's never had a 1,000-yard season. The Saints team is really bad. I think he's gonna be C tier running back. I think he's gonna be high C, low B. He's been getting injured more and more. I don't think Alvin Kamara is going to have that great of a year, and I would almost say he's starting to border on washed, which is sad because I do like Alvin Kamara, but I just think this team is so bad. He's like the one, other than Olave, I think he's like the one bright spot on the offense, and I think teams know that, and they're just gonna hyper focus on him, and he's gonna struggle for that reason. Now, Kyren Williams, I think Kyren Williams is B tier. If I had to rank him specifically, I'd probably put him under Joe Mixon. I do like Kyren. Very good. He got the extension. I think he deserved it. But I think the Rams team is always going to be a pass-heavy team. And if Matthew Stafford isn't playing, then his team will be run-heavy. But I think, again, teams will know that. They're going to focus on Kyren. So I think he'll struggle a little bit. But I think he'll get over 1,000 yards. I think most of these guys, B tier and up, will get 1,000 yards. Except for Kenneth Walker, just because he is splitting reps. And kind of same thing with Montgomery. I think Montgomery will probably have 8 to 9. But I think... now that I say that, I actually am going to move Breece Hall to C. I don't think Breece Hall is going to get 1,000 yards. And actually, I'm going to move Kenneth Walker to C as well. I don't think he'll get 1,000 yards. I think everyone in B tier and up is going to get 1,000 plus. Everyone lower than that will not. So, but yeah, I think Kyren Williams is going to be good. I think Matthew Stafford is going to play a big role in that. I don't know who... Oh, this is Miles Sanders. Najee, yeah, Najee the starter. I think Najee, I'm going to put him in B tier, partially because I think him and Jalen Warren, when they were on the field together for the Steelers, I thought they both had relatively similar stats, similar numbers. I think they literally, I think they're I'm not gonna say they're the same person, but I think that I would have them in the same tier. I don't think either of them like begged the I don't think any of them begged the question of like, oh, is this guy better than the other? I think when I would watch them play, I knew they were pretty much equal. So here on the tier list, I'm gonna have them basically in the same spot. I think I would probably say Najee's better than Warren, but yeah. Pacheco, I have at B tier. I'm gonna have him under Kyron. I thought Pacheco was gonna have a big year last year, but the injury really hurt them. So that's unfortunate. I'm hoping he comes back looking healthy, because I think when healthy, I think his speed and being in the same on the same team as Mahomes opens up a lot of more holes for him. I could see him having an A tier type of year. But right now I think I have to put him at B. But I do like Pacheco. Then yeah, so now we're gonna rank Ramondre. And I think Ramondre is C tier. If I had to rank him, probably like right here, just under Chase Brown. I mean, he's splitting reps with Antonio Gibson. He's not that good, obviously. Saquon, S tier. I'm going to have him above Derrick Henry. Just Saquon's still not technically. He is younger than Derrick Henry. He's more athletic than Derrick Henry. And I think that with the Ravens, yes, they have Lamar who can run the ball crazy, but the receivers are not as good as the receivers for the Eagles. Whereas on the Eagles, yes, you have to worry about Jalen Hurts as a running threat, but he's also a great passing threat as well. And I think that also helps Saquon's case. So I think Saquon will still be the best running back in the league next year, if everything goes right. Now, DeAndre Swift. I have Swift as a C tier running back. I think he'll have an okay year. I believe he's still with the Bears. I don't think he didn't really do anything crazy last year. I don't think he's gonna do anything crazy this year. I have more bad things to say than good, but I think he'll probably be here under Kamara, but over Ford. I think Pollard is still the starter for Tennessee, and he's another C tier running back. He would probably be behind Chase Brown. I think they're gonna lean on Cam Ward a good amount, just because he's the number 1 overall pick, and they have Calvin Ridley, and they have another receiver there that I thought was decent. Oh my God, they signed them. Oh, Tyler Lockett. So I think they're gonna rely on the pass a little bit more than the run. So I think Pollard's just not gonna do anything crazy. Tajay, who got hurt. Oh, I skipped over him. I skipped over 2 guys, I think, maybe. Trevor Etienne, another C tier running back. He'll probably have a similar year to Breece Hall. But I don't know who I think would be. Actually, I think Breece Hall would have a better season because of what I said about Justin Fields. But Etienne, I know they've been kind of looking to move on from him for a while. He'll honestly probably split reps with Tank, and I'll put Tank here as well. I'll put Tank though under Jerome Ford. I don't think any of them are that great. I think they deserve to be splitting reps. Tajay and Tyrone Tracy didn't play bad last year, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I just don't think he's the guy. I'm gonna have him C tier. I think all of these. Yeah, I think I'd rather have everyone above Tyrone Tracy. I'd rather have all these guys other than Tyrone Tracy. I can make the argument for Williams and Charbonnet, but Williams injury concerns and Charbonnet, I don't think he's that much better than Tracy. But everyone else here are either backups or rookies, so I'm not gonna rank them. But yeah, this is my running back tier list. Thank you guys for staying to the end of the video, the guys who have. But yeah, if you guys want to see more content like this, like and subscribe for more. I'll put my TikTok and my Instagram in the description as well. And yeah, next video is gonna be wide receiver 1 rankings. And I'm not gonna do a tight end one, but the next video after that is gonna be a Miami Dolphins prediction. So drop who you want me to do predictions on next in the comments. I'll be reading them, and I'll do the most requested. And then before the season starts, I'll make a detailed season preview video as well. But yeah, this was fun. And yeah, I think this tier list is honestly good. Now that I'm looking at it again, I think Bijan goes S tier. But yeah, but this is the tier list. Peace out, y'all.